Just finishing up on last weekend, we were disappointed about the game. We felt like we started pretty well in the game, did some things that we wanted to do early, and we just had a poor second quarter. The turnovers really hurt us in the second quarter, and we really never got on track in the second half. They did a good job of kind of holding our passing game down a little bit. We didn't do enough in the run game in the second half to really give them much of a threat. We weren't happy with how we played defense, and really had some real long talks with our defensive players the last couple days, and we kind of got to get our stinger back and get back to where we were playing earlier in the year, more aggressive, more physical, more attacking, and so we're hoping to get back to that this week. It was real sad to see Sonny Rufus get hurt. He did have surgery on Sunday. I just got off the phone with him actually, and he's doing well. He's getting that leg set, and he's going to be on the road to recovery. So we got a lot of players that are thinking about him and wishing him well, and they're all fighting over to wear his jersey. They all want to honor him wearing his jersey, so we'll have to figure that out. But he'll be with us in spirit, and we got some really quality guys, Jaden Sawyer and Nephi Sewell and Damian Baber will handle the safety position, and we'll probably play a couple other guys. So really excited to play San Jose State, come back home, another Mountain West opponent in a home game, and so we're real excited about this week.
When you look at the Spartans, what is it about them that maybe concerns you a little bit?
Well, I mean, they have some talent. They've been struggling trying to find themselves, similar to us in some ways. We just have to do a good job of playing our style of football, and I think that's the big thing that we've stressed this week. We want to play aggressively on both sides of the ball. They've had some issues with ball security, so we want to play a clean game, and we want to really attack on defense. And so, we're excited to be home, playing a Mountain West opponent. It'll be another challenge for us. And we really look at the season with 3 games left. We want to build some momentum. We want to finish strong. It's the fourth quarter of our season, and we want to really finish strong in that fourth quarter.
Ty had been pretty good about not throwing interceptions the last several weeks. Is this one game anomaly, you think, or you think maybe it was a step back?
It just happens. You're going to have games when your quarterback doesn't play well on the road sometimes, and you just have to find a way to get through it. And we have to do a better job of balancing it out, running the ball, taking some pressure on him so he doesn't have to make all the plays in a game. We don't want to be the type of team that has to totally rely on your quarterback to make every play for you to win games. So we've got good running backs. We've got a good offensive line. We got to balance that up a little bit more, especially against a good defense like Boise. They're a good defense. You can't be one-dimensional against them and expect to have success. I think it's a great honor for him. And there's some great players that are on that list. I looked at a lot of them, and, some of the very best players in the country are on that list as former walk-ons, which is a great tribute to a lot of those players. I was at Oklahoma when Baker Mayfield was there and as a walk-on, and now he's got a chance to win the Heisman Trophy this year. So really, really exciting. I think the Washington State quarterback's on there too, and really quality players. It's just a real tribute to Austin and what he's accomplished here. And we use that as an example all the time to our walk-on players and our young players. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter if you're a scholarship player. You can accomplish great things if you work hard and you do what we ask you to do.
Now that you've gone through not a full season, but most of the season with this defense, where do you guys need to improve specifically as far as personnel?
We really would like to get bigger at the defensive end position. We're just light. When you play against the better teams in this league and you see the type of personnel they have, we would like to get bigger at that position, especially to help us in the run game. We need to be a little bigger and more physical at linebacker as well. That's really important for us, just to be able to match up against the really good teams in this league, and we need more overall physicality in our defensive personnel, and that's something that we're really trying to identify in recruiting.
What about on the offensive side after the year being able to look?
I would really love to have a tight end, and a physical blocking tight end and a physical blocking fullback. Those are elements that we just don't have. We've been trying to, like we move Corey Rush over on defense when we go short yardage, and we're trying to really get a tough physical yard. So we've used Jordan Silva in those situations. We just don't have those types of bodies on the roster, and we need those types of bodies to balance out a game like that. In the second half, we really needed to be more balanced. And, two-back running game really helps you keep that balance. And we'd like to do that. We kind of get the air raid kind of gets blanketed, but there's all kind of different air raids. Oklahoma's an air raid too. Oklahoma runs a lot of two-back running game. And so we would like to have more of that in our offense to be able to be more physical, especially when you get late in the year in November.
When a team's winning, the players are up, they're excited, they go to practice, they're energetic. Do you maybe learn more about what you have in specific guys in a situation like this when they're going to fight through a tough time, a tough season?
There's no question. Your character gets revealed when you have adversity, and who you really are shows up every day. And we talk a lot about being consistent and being an everyday kind of guy. And we really try to keep things pretty simple. Stay in the moment, pay attention in meetings, give great effort in practice, and we're getting that from so many guys. And it's something that you have to challenge yourself to do every single day. It's not something that you do for a little while. You have to wake up in the morning, you have to challenge yourself to do the right thing. So, we've gotten really good leadership from our older players, and we have to keep demanding that out of them every day. And we still got a lot of football to play. We got 3 weeks to play. A lot of our seniors will probably never play football after the next 3 weeks, and so it's important to them to play well and for us to finish strong.
I know Austin also got that Senior Bowl invite. I guess, what do you think his odds are at the next level? That's a pretty prestigious thing to go play that.
Of all the All-Star games, that's probably the most important one because it's really voted on by the NFL scouts. And so the NFL scouting departments really pick the players across the country that they want to see work. And, when I was in the National Football League, when I was with the Raiders, when Al Davis was still alive, we would watch those practices every day for 2 weeks and watch the best players practice against each other. So, one of the things I think the scouts want to see him play inside. They want to see him play guard. I think they would like to see him play center as well. And if we could afford to do it, we would really prefer to play him inside too, as a guard or a center. But we just don't have that luxury because we don't have the bodies at tackle to play and move him in. But no, I think it's a great honor for him. I think it really helps his chances going to the next level, and it shows how serious people are in him to want him to play in that game.
Jackson didn't get a lot of carries against Boise. Is he still kind of banged up, or is that more a reflection of Kelton that's been playing with him?
No, I think Jackson's getting more healthy. He's not totally healthy yet, but I just think Kelton is just running the ball so physically, and we really challenged those backs to finish runs in that game, and he did a wonderful job of that. And Kelton's playing at a high level. He's playing with a lot of confidence, and we'll continue to work Jackson back in there. And it's going to be big for us this week. This is a big week for us to run the football. We got to do a great job running the ball this week, and we'd like to finish, with a lot of momentum running the football as well as passing it. And if we can get both elements going, we should be pretty dangerous offensively.
State hasn't had a lot of success win-loss record, but they do have a couple of running backs that can run the ball pretty effectively.
Yeah, they got some young kids, and they're anxious to do the same thing. They're anxious to finish strong, and so our preparation's got to really be great this week. We've talked to the team about that. really challenged them about dialing in and focusing in on playing our best football. And that's our challenge this week as coaches and players, is to really get the most out of our team to play its very best.
What have you thought of the offensive line play? Because that was a pretty big question mark, and it seems like those guys have done pretty well.
I'm really proud of our offensive line. I think our pass protection's been outstanding the last month. With all the success we've had throwing the ball, I mean, Ty really hasn't been pressured or sacked hardly at all. And so that's a real tribute to really Sean Krebs identifying and making calls up front, and then our guys really identifying the guys that are coming and keeping them away from the quarterback. That's been really impressive. We've done a good job run blocking. And I think, majority of those guys are all going to come back next year. And we got some young guys. Cliff Porter's really improved and made a contribution. So that's really big for us. But the offensive line is big, and we should get some younger bodies in there next year. That should help solidify that position and give us a lot of hope for the future.
And then it seems like on defense, Hakeem Mohammed's kind of emerged into a playmaker. I know he was on offense in spring ball. I guess what made him fit better there?
I think that's been a great move for us, moving a key to defense. And he's really he's been one of the great kids over there that have the temperament day in and day out to really play aggressive and attack. He's created some turnovers. He has more fun than anybody in practice. It's because he really likes to compete. And so we've been really, really, really impressed with him. And Daniel Brown's been another young guy at corner that's done a nice job. But we're really excited about the future of Aki and Daniel over there at corner.
Coach, what's the momentum been like in practice this week? Have the older guys been showing leadership?
Oh yeah, old guys have been doing a great job. We've had another great practice today, super competitive, and we've shortened practice up a little bit to get great energy and great competition. But the older guys have done a really good job. They're really dialed in. They're trying to show great leadership. And we had a really competitive day again today, and tomorrow we'll crank it up. It's all about the ball on Wednesdays. It's all about turnovers, and so we'll stress that and have another real competitive practice tomorrow.
If you could pinpoint anything that you think you could fix during this next 3 weeks that could translate into next season in basketball?
I really want to see us play physical on both sides of the ball. I think that's the most important thing that I would like to see. I'd like to see our defense get back to playing the physical style we played earlier in the year. And offensively, I really like to see us run the ball and to complement our passing game. And Kelton has given us a lot of that in the last couple of weeks. And I think it'll be important that we have that physical element this week, the next week when we go to San Diego State, and then the last game against UNLV. So I think those two things are really important for us to finish out in a physical manner.
What's going to be is that just a mindset thing, how you play in a physical nature?
It's a confidence thing.
Yeah.
It's a confidence thing. I think the more confident you are, the more physical you play. And the more self-confident players are your most physical players. It was very easy in the game to see who our most physical players were. They were Austin Corbett, they were Kelton Moore, and really Corey Rush on defense. I mean, those guys just kept showing up time after time, and those are your leaders. And we need more performances like that out of more players to really play at a high level. Thanks, guys.
Questions for Keith?
What's your season kind of been like? I mean, I know you've switched positions a lot during your career, but it seems like you finally found kind of a home.
I think it's been pretty good, pretty challenging as far as trying to get back to playing DB and getting the right feel for certain aspects of the game, as far as just going for the ball, looking for the ball, backpedaling, all that type of stuff. But it's been pretty good. Coach Viney's, worked with me pretty well, giving me all of the tools to be successful. So it's been all right to me.
Do you like it on that side more, or would you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I like playing defense a lot more than playing offense. Offense was a lot more tiring, I would say, and I don't know. I just feel like it fits me more. So yeah.
Seems like you bring kind of a spark to the defense. I mean, you're a guy who just seems like loves the game. I guess where does your zest for football and that kind of mentality you bring on the field come from?
I'm not sure really. I just like to have fun. I feel like I'm a real competitive person. So, I mean, when I'm on the football field, I mean, that's one of the most competitive sports in the world. So, I just really just have fun playing, and I mean, that's all it really takes from me throughout the day.
You watch practice, and it seems like the defense is usually winning those sessions, and then it comes over to the game, and then there are struggles. I guess what's been the biggest issue with taking what you guys are doing in practice, into the game?
I think it's probably just consistency, I would say. I think we have a lot of great practices, and then we get to the games, and I don't know. I wouldn't say we're not mentally there, or I don't know. I just think we just need to be more consistent, and just play a little bit harder, I would say.
Does some of that come down to confidence as well, just based on how the recent games have gone?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. Probably. I mean, if you're more confident, of course you'll play harder and do certain things better, I guess. But yeah, I'm not really sure.
After a close loss last year at San Jose State, I mean, how excited you guys to get another practice start?
Really excited, really, Elliot. I mean, I like playing San Jose State. A couple years ago, I had a blocked field goal against them, and they've been one of the more competitive teams that we played every year. So I think we're anxious to get back out there and try to get a win at home. So I mean, yeah, we're ready.
You guys, I mean, outside of last game, this team really took a step forward probably the month before that. Is it really just kind of learning how to close out games and learning how to win?
Yeah, I would say I think it just takes consistency and playing great football every day, and once we get there, we'll, try to close out better.
What have you guys been focusing on this week for San Jose State?
Really just the same things we focus on every week, playing with intensity, a love for the game, and just trying to go win.
You mentioned that block. I mean, that basically saved the game. That would have won it for him. I guess, what do you remember about that play and that whole comeback? It was pretty crazy.
I just remember the stands was really going that game. Everybody was really hyped up, and it was supposed to be one of the last plays of the game, and they told me to go block it. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I had all the confidence that I was going to get there, but when it happened, everybody was just really excited, and yeah, I don't know. I guess it just set the tempo for the rest of that game.
There are obviously a lot of pieces in this secondary heading into the season that were all fighting for spots. What do you feel made you emerge and become a big playmaker back there and one of the best players on the defense?
I think just sticking to the process every day. Like I said, Coach Viney has done a good job in helping me progress as a player. So I mean, just believe in the process, I guess.
Anything else? All right, thank you. Questions for defense?
How would you assess how your first year here in Nevada has kind of gone?
I guess how would I assess my first year here is basically how life is. I mean, I came in as a freshman. No one knew about me. I had to fight my way into getting into the rotation of getting play time, and now we're in week 10 or week 9? Week 10? Yeah, we're in week 10. Now I'm getting more play time than I ever imagined getting my first year. So I think my first year, I think it's a great experience for me. It's not often you get to play as a true freshman, and so I think it was a great opportunity for me to come here and excel my athletic abilities.
What's maybe the biggest thing you've learned, just going through your first season, and what you maybe understand better now heading into next year than you would have had you not played this season?
Biggest thing I've learned is putting in time to go watch film. Getting to actually understand the scheme of our game plan that week, and basically see what the tendencies are, and that's basically where I learned the whole week that film study actually shows up in the game time, because teams run certain formations and they all do the shifts and everything with the formations, and then if you watch film, you feel prepared, and then it'll build up confidence, and then you can just play instead of thinking all the time.
I'm sure you've watched film at San Jose State. Obviously, they haven't had a great season, but what are some of the offensive strengths they have that you guys are gonna have to watch out for?
Offensive strengths is definitely their big tight end. They also have a wide receiver they like to throw deep to. I know they have a quarterback battle throughout the whole year. But I'm sure they're going with big number 7. I'm sure he's a big body. He has struggles reading keys, but they're a great team. I mean, their offensive line, they 4 out of 5 stars returning, so they should be pretty experienced. But they have a good team. So.
You guys obviously lost to Sonny. I know it was a big piece to that secondary and the entire defense. And you guys feel like going out that you're kind of playing for him, or is sort of the mindset without one of your guys' big leaders?
This game is definitely for Deuce. I mean, Asani, to me, is a role model. I look up to him just because when I came in, you can see that he's a leader. You can see he puts in the time, the work, and then he definitely puts in the time with the coaches to understand what the coach wants. He wants to be a coach on the field and everything, just so he can lead us. And I think he's a great player, and this game is definitely for him.
Defense has obviously struggled the last few games. Where is the mindset of the guys, and what do you feel like you guys have to do to kind of turn the tide a little bit and get back to how you were playing at the end of the year?
I think I would have to go off what Aki said, consistency, because throughout practice, I mean, every time we go out practice, everyone's yelling and everything, and everyone has the emotions flying everywhere. And when it comes to game time, I think everyone we all just lack consistency, and I think we think too much at times to where it lacks our confidence, and then we just don't play as a unit.
You mentioned getting a lot more playing time than you thought you were going to. I know your family is really tight-knit, so what has it been like for you and your family to have you kids playing out there so much together?
We've dreamed of it since we left the islands. Not many people get the opportunity me and him have. We're trying to get a third here, maybe a fourth. But our family is very grateful. I know my dad is very happy for us because he never really had the chance to go play college ball. So for him to see us pursue our dreams and make the right choices, it definitely makes them proud.
You mentioned their freshman quarterback. You guys have played a lot of great quarterbacks this year. It seems like every single week there's another dynamic quarterback. Has playing those kind of competition maybe prepared you to exploit some of the weaknesses of a freshman quarterback?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Colorado State's quarterback, he was good. Boise State's quarterback, he was good. Wazoo's quarterback, they were really good. So definitely playing all these quarterbacks. I mean, they all have a different play style, but definitely seeing where the freshman quarterback lacks for San Jose definitely gives us an advantage.